Greetings, I am Tom Earl, and this is my year of balance. So excited to have you here today. I know you could be anywhere, so the fact that you are here today, I truly appreciate the heck out of that. Today, I'm going to provide you, and we're going to spend time on 5 questions we can use to reflect upon our 2017 year, which is coming to a close. And even if you're not listening to this in time, or you're not listening to this right as it comes out, maybe you're listening to this 6 months later, you can use these questions to reflect upon any part of your year or on any time during your life. They are year-round questions, but we will use this intentional opportunity that going into a new calendar year brings. Before we get started though, you know how we like to purposefully begin our podcasts. We're going to do that by aligning our intentions, our breath, and our energy as one. So what we're going to do is breathe in and think or look up or stretch up. And then when we breathe out, release that energy. Ready? Here we go. Breathe in and release. Let's do that again. Breathe in and release. There we go. So let's jump into closing out 2017 or wherever you are in this year in a way that has meaning and purpose. Now, there's a lot of different ways we can reflect upon our year. There's lots of different vision boards and activities like that. The way we're going to do that is I'm going to provide you with 5 foundational questions you can use to reflect upon your year. And then I'll provide you with some resources at the end you can use to continue that journey. Now, each of these questions you can use for different parts of your life. For instance, as you know we've talked about, we can easily split our life into 2: personal life, professional life. Now, within each of these sections, personal life, professional life, they overlap sometimes, but within each of these categories, we're going to have some areas of improvement. We're going to have some areas that we're always focusing on. For instance, in professional, you're probably going to have a communications focus that you have. Let's just list off a couple of them. Communications, maybe team, marketing, product development, strategy, vision. Can you see where I'm going? There's certain things even within the professional category. Then within your personal life, you'll have health, exercise, friends and family, leisure time, hobbies. So we have different categories even within those. So what you can use these 5 questions for is to reflect, first of all, big picture, your whole year, whatever comes to mind first. But if you want to take a little bit of a deeper dive, is to think, what in my professional life and what in my personal life can I use these questions to think about? And if you want to get even more nitty gritty, take these questions and go through each of your categories. For instance, for me, once I divide into those 2 areas, personal life, professional life, I have about 6 to 10 categories within each of those. And I'll take these questions and I'll apply them to each of those. So in the end, I might have around 20 answers altogether. If that sounds overwhelming to you, then just use this podcast to, as I go along, think of 1 to 3 things that just come to the top of your mind when I ask them. For instance, this is our year of balance. Where have you found balance throughout 2017? A big area for me is right away just the balance between work and life. I realized, get the majority of my needs met in my professional life. So if you think of what are some human needs we have: connection, growth, love, certainty, variety. I'm saying Tony Robbins, 5 to 6 ones you can see. So if we were to say those, I was trying to get all those needs met the majority of through my professional life. And I realized that it's a lopsided way to move through life. If we talk about sexism and socialization, oftentimes men, or what we perceive as cisgendered men, are socialized to try to get your needs met through work, provide for family, amass wealth, these type of things. So it makes sense that in the way I've been socialized, that it's influenced me to try to get my needs met just through my professional life. And moving into this year, I wanted to bring balance to that. And I feel I have done an excellent job. So one of the ways I've brought balance is that if you think of last year, 2016 was my year of expression, is that I've been making sure that I've been expressing myself in my personal life as well, that I've been bringing creativity to my personal life. The way I've been doing that is thinking of what are creative ways I can express my love to my friends, to my families, and to my partner. And finding ways to do that has been such a joy. And I have realized that even though my professional life is very fulfilling, I love it. It brings such joy to my life. It's my mission. It's my calling. Even with my professional life as amazing as it can get, let's say there's nothing I can improve upon, my life is still only half as wonderful as it could be until I start to invest that level of energy into my personal life as well. And so that's one way I have found balance in 2017. That was an example. Let's go through now the 5 questions I have for you. Okay, the first one is I want you to think of what is something you are proud of or that brings you a sense of pride from 2017, either in your personal life, your professional life, or what are the first 1 to 3 things that come up for you? I know for me, what I think of is one thing I'm really proud of from my 2017 year is doing those 2 TED Talks that I did, especially the first one. I was so nervous. I'd never done a 15-minute talk where it wasn't audience interaction. I know I do these podcasts, but when I go to audiences, it's always interactive or I'm performing. I've done hour-long poetry and music sets, but going and giving a lecture without doing any audience participation where it's a workshop, it was a new thing for me. It was something that was going to take me out of my comfort zone. Plus, it was a speech that had to be memorized. I've never memorized word for word a 15-minute speech. And I even remember there was a slight glitch, a slight hiccup in the organization of the TED Talk. And a part of me started to think, I secretly hope that something goes wrong and the TED Talk just doesn't happen. And when I heard myself say that, I said, aha, the things that you know are good for you, but cause you to be afraid, those are the things that we should go head first into. And so when I knew this would be an amazing opportunity for me, and yet I'm trying to take the easy way out, that's when I knew that I had to go for it. And so I did. I went for it. It was absolutely amazing. It was so much fun. And I just got to see the recording. It takes a long time. I didn't realize this, but it takes almost 6-7 months for them to get it up on YouTube. And I just found out that it went on YouTube. So I watched it. It was awesome. The link is in the show notes if you want to check that out, or it's on my website. And afterwards, I felt so much pride, such accomplishment. And so it gave me the courage to do my second one. And the second one, I was feeling like a pro at this by now, memorized it, delivered it, and it was awesome. So that is one thing that I'm proud of from this year. What about for you? What are 1 to 3 things that are bringing you a sense of pride from your 2017? The next thing I want you to reflect upon, who would have thought Tom Earl talking about gratitude? What is 1 to 3 things you are grateful for from 2017 or from your year? The thing I am grateful for this year, there's tons of things. As you know, I share one thing I'm grateful for every day. We have a Facebook group, the Gratitude Challenge. The link for that's in the show notes. I hope you're already a member of that. The thing I'm most grateful for from this year is time. I believe that I really had the opportunity to spend quality time in the areas of my life that I really wanted to focus on. First of all, with my loved ones. I'm super happy about and grateful for the time I got to spend, first of all, with my partner, the intentional time we set aside each week, each month, and each year. Once a week setting aside time, once a month setting aside a larger chunk of time, once a year a bigger chunk of time. That's how I divide up my rituals and my habits as a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly practice. So I'm grateful for that time I got to spend with my partner, with my family, either through Snapchat, text message, phone, in person. All of that to me builds meaningful relationships. I know people talk down on connecting with people through social media, but I feel whatever you can use to build relationships that you should be grateful for. And also at the same time, very grateful for the intentional time I got to spend on my passion, the Celebration Academy, and my music and poetry. Especially the last quarter of 2017, from August until now, I got to spend my full time on my personal business, which has been a dream of mine for many years now, to have the opportunity to have the resources to invest full time in my business. And in the last quarter of 2017, had the opportunity to do that. And it's just been such an amazing thing. And I'm also grateful for the time I've been able to invest in my health. It is so amazing to be able to get 8 hours of sleep every single night consistently. I know that is a blessing and not everyone has that opportunity. And so for that, I am grateful. And I've just experienced how this year, it just sings to my soul, how I wake up excited for life every day. And for that, I am grateful. What about for you? What are 1 to 3 things you are grateful for? Our attention gives direction. Where we place our focus gives direction to our emotions, to where our energy, and to what we're going to remember is. And so when you look back on this year, maybe from an outside perspective, or when you first think of it, this might have been a year for you. You might be listening to me and saying, Tom, I wish I could say I'm grateful for all the things you're grateful for, but this was a tough year for me. I want to first of all send love your way. I want to send a hug your way, and I want to let you know that I got your back. Second of all, I'm here because we're working together on this journey you're on. So I want to encourage you that if you're actively already thinking of all the things that were hard and that were a struggle and that were tough this year, use this half hour we're together right now on this podcast to set those aside, because those worries will be waiting for you. I promise if your brain has been always thinking about them for the past weeks, let them go for a little bit, and just at least for this half hour, humor me and think of instead, what are things you are grateful for from this year? It could be things as simple as, I'm grateful that every day this year I woke up alive. I am grateful that for every day this year I had access to clean drinking water. I am grateful that for every day this year, there was at least one person in the world that cared about me. And if you're thinking there was nobody in the world that cared about me, you're wrong. I do. You can count me as someone who genuinely cares about you. So think of it. Start general. Start broad if you need to. The things I've been saying. Clean drinking water. I'm grateful that I can blink. I'm grateful that I breathe. I don't have to consciously think in breath, out breath, that it just does it automatically. Start there. Think of 1 to 3 things you are grateful for from this year. The next thing is, what are some values that you led with in 2017? What are 1 to 3 values that you led with? Maybe you can think of in your personal life and professional life. Like I said, one value that comes to mind for me is courage. That I really led with courage this year. As I was sharing with my TED Talk, I found that when there was times that I was feeling afraid, I found the courage to keep going. And really for me, where I found the courage to do was, it did take a lot of courage for me to invest in a year of balance. For me, I realized that I was doing a lot of action because of fear. I was doing a lot of constantly, I need to do things, I need to work on this, I need to stay up late and put in more effort because I was afraid. And I felt that as long as I was moving, as long as I was doing action, I could outrun my fear. And so by having an intention that in this year of balance, I'm going to spend more time resting. I'm going to spend more time in leisure. I'm going to spend more time doing things that a year ago I would have said is laziness. That took courage for me to do that. They say that for the achiever, for the person really into accomplishments, the thing that takes the most amount of courage is to just relax and do nothing. And I can attest to that. And maybe you're the kind of person too, where the idea of taking an entire week off, or even taking an entire weekend off where you don't work, or even taking a day where you turn off all social media, you don't check your email, you don't do a single work. If you're the kind of person that sounds stressful, then we are in the same boat. And it takes courage to invest energy, to invest time in yourself. And so I'm proud of that I led with the value of courage this year. What about for you? What were some values you led with in your life? Was there anything in your relationships that required values such as courage or honesty or authenticity that you leaned into 2017 that you want to celebrate? What about in your professional life? Was there any values? For some people, maybe integrity, being in line with your values, which is integrity. Maybe for you, you were challenged in your professional life and invited in some ways by the system you're a part of to do some things that maybe felt a little dishonest, where you were told to lean into profit over people. And so it required you to lead with the value of integrity. Think about that. What are 1 to 3 values that you led with in 2017? The next one we want to move on to is, boom, right up here. What were 1 to 3 accomplishments that you want to celebrate from 2017? What are 1 to 3 accomplishments that you want to celebrate from 2017? These could be accomplishments, once again, in any aspect of your life. But think of what are the first things that come to mind? For me, the first thing that comes to mind is the new launching of the Celebration Academy that is going on right now. Starting around August, I started to have a new vision for the Celebration Academy. And that vision is that instead of it being different classes that you can access, instead, the Celebration Academy now is a subscription plan where for $10 a month, you get access to our entire catalog. And to do that, I needed to record some new classes. And so I'm just finishing now editing, posting, and uploading our new class, Manifest Your Adventure. And to do all that took months of work, and it was an amazing journey. Had the opportunity to work with really awesome people, a lot of really cool guests on this new course, and then changing the way the catalog and the way our students and our community interacts with the school. It's just been absolutely amazing. And it brought out a lot of new skills that I needed to develop. And it's an accomplishment I'm really proud of. And I'll share more with you at the end of how you can join us if you haven't already. That's one accomplishment. Another accomplishment that I'm really proud of is that with my partner, making sure that we set aside consistently every single week intentional time together. For me, especially as you're going to hear this theme, that I just get so focused on my work. For instance, for the Manifest Your Adventure, each class, it's a 7-day course. Each course probably took about 20 hours of editing. So I would record it, and then to get it ready to go was about 20 hours each day. So 7 times 20. So as you can imagine, I was very focused. This woo, that to me is me saying, Tom's focused. And so setting aside time and being disciplined and saying, I'm going to set the work down and spend time with those I love. That's an accomplishment that I'm really proud of. As you can see, these kind of interlock. I'm saying I'm proud of, which is something is our second question. Proud of an accomplishment. So these interlock, they kind of build upon each other, but it's nice to be able to separate them and think. So what about for you? What are 1 to 3 accomplishments that you want to reflect upon and celebrate from this year, especially if you're feeling that you didn't achieve everything you wanted to? Maybe for you, this was a tough year. Maybe for you, this was the year that you were laid off from your job. Maybe this was the year where you launched a new business and it didn't work out the way you wanted to. Maybe for you, this was a year where you broke up with somebody you have been with. It's been a tough year for a lot of folks. So listening to this right now may be causing some feelings that this wasn't a good year, Tom. I'm not enjoying this episode because you're bringing up these feelings of disappointment, these feelings of inadequacy, these feelings of failure. And so what I want you to do, as we said with gratitude, is for at least these 30 minutes we're together in this podcast, put those feelings to the side and find at least 1 to 3 things that you can celebrate. 1 to 3 things that you can celebrate and as an accomplishment. Think about it. What was 1 to 3 things? Start general. Another thing I'm proud of is that every day I got up and I started my day with a walk. Or every day I ate a salad. Or every day I made sure that I drank enough water. Or every day I made sure I took a shower. Or every day I made sure that I was nice to those around me. Or every day for this year, one thing I want to accomplish is that I breathed, is that I didn't hold my breath, that I kept breathing, that even when it was tough, I woke up and I said, I'm going to keep going. And just getting to January 1st, 2018, to me is an accomplishment. If that's where you're at, celebrate that. Lean into those accomplishments and celebrate them like you're on a world stage and the whole world is clapping for you, because we want to recognize the abundance in our life, no matter how small we might perceive it, because like attracts like. And so if you're moving through some things that feel painful right now, the way to move yourself through that quicker and with some enjoyment is finding where in my life is there pleasure? Where in my life is there joy? No matter the size of it, no matter if you think that it's not even worth mentioning, lean into that and feel the excitement of it. Because once you get excited about it, it doesn't matter how huge of an accomplishment it was. I know some folks, we all know this. There's some people who have achieved phenomenal accomplishments and are still unhappy. And then we know there are people who do every single acts of small accomplishments, minute accomplishments, and they celebrate those accomplishments like they were the biggest victories in the world. And those people are happy. So when we can get into a place where we celebrate our accomplishments, no matter how big or small, that's when we find abundance unconditionally. What does that mean? It means that no longer is our happiness or feeling of abundance tied to the conditions around us, but rather we get to set the standard. So think of 1 to 3 things that you are proud of accomplishing this year. Last thing that what I want you to think upon is, what are some relationships you are proud of, or what are some relationships you want to celebrate from 2017? Now, this is a good one to do in each category if you want to take the time. What are some relationships that you want to celebrate from your professional life? What are some relationships, or what are some things about your relationships you want to celebrate from your personal life? Think through that. For me, one thing I want to celebrate is that I have a group of friends, and I make sure that with each one of them, I meet up at least once a month. That might not sound like a lot, but as an adult, it can be challenging to continue to cultivate your relationships. And so for me, as soon as I was done, we'd hang out that month, and before the next month would come, right after we were done hanging out, we'd set aside the next time we were going to hang out. And we did that for a whole year. And so there's a group of friends that every single month I got to have dinner with them or spend intentional time with them month after month. And there was also a group of friends where every other month or every 3 months, the 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 of us would get together and have dinner. And so I'm feeling really proud I'm celebrating that I nurtured many relationships in my life and didn't just let chance or time or whims or hoping that we'd somehow find time together, that we made sure every month we said, when are we going to hang out this month? And then we scheduled it in and we respected that schedule. and I'm really feeling the nourishment from those relationships. And so for you, what is something in your relationships you want to celebrate from 2017, whether it's your personal or professional relationship? Think on that. I hope that these 5 questions have brought value to how you can reflect upon your 2017. If you want to take a little bit deeper of a dive into this Sunday, I know this episode comes out on a Friday, this Sunday, we are going to be having the live and online expression session. During the live and online expression session, it's actually going to be a writing workshop on giving our 2017 closure. And if you want to attend that, the link is in the show notes, or go to tommerl.com/events. Or if you can't attend, or this is after Sunday and you're thinking, darn it, don't worry, because next week's episode is going to be the replay of that expression session. So next week, Friday, our podcast is going to go a little more in detail and be a writing workshop on giving closure to our 2017. Or as I mentioned, I have started, or I've launched a new course as part of the Celebration Academy called Manifest Your Adventure. And you can join that by joining the Celebration Academy. You get your first month for free. Every month after that is $10 as part of joining the Celebration Academy. You get access to our entire catalog, any courses that we have already launched, or any courses I'll be launching this year, which is going to be many different ones. And by this year, I mean 2018. You get access to them as part of your subscription. In addition, you get a live group workshop only for people who are members of the Celebration Academy, which means an intimate, awesome, motivated, and inspired group of people. You get all that through your $10 subscription. So you can do that. Lastly, if you're listening to this between now and the end of December 2017, I'm offering my community a free half-hour coaching one-on-one session. So if you'd like to take your reflection a little bit deeper, or if you'd like to work on any sort of personal or business development, let me know. Email me, tom@tommerl.com, and let me know if you'd like to schedule a free coaching session one-on-one. Would love to do that. My friends, this has been an absolute pleasure to reflect along with you in what 2017 has meant to us. It has truly been a pleasure going through this journey together. This will not be the end of 2017, so I won't give a big closure reflection yet. There's still 2 more episodes to come before we close the year, but I wanted to begin our reflection process early. Let me know if you have any questions. Share this with a friend. Please leave a review on iTunes. I would greatly appreciate that. Or send me a snap and let me know what you thought of this. Any questions you have, please let me know. As always, wishing you peace and blessings. Thank you.